Hey family, this is my channel, Healing for Destiny. Welcome. If this is your first time joining me, welcome, Healing for Destiny. And today is a good message. God said that it was time for me to bring this because this is so important. Like what I'm talking about today is so important in your healing journey because it's going to start bringing a breakthrough for you. It's going to start helping you to start getting to the root. Like what I'm talking about today has a lot to do with the inner healing. When we start talking about healing those wounds and getting to the root of things and really digging deep and getting, underneath the surface to start addressing stuff and to start healing and allowing, God to take that hurt and take that pain and do what he's trying to do with it. And so what I'm talking about today is healing from the things that you don't know that you need to be healed from. This is like healing from the things that you don't even realize, like that hurt, those wounds, those voids, those things like deep down that you don't even know, like you don't even realize it. Like it's so many things that has been buried, like it's been buried within you. You've thrown it to the back burner. You haven't addressed it. You haven't like really sat with it and thought about it or really, picked it apart to get to that wound, to get to that root. And so those are the things we're talking about, the healing from the things that we don't know we need to heal from. And it's so important, right? And so when I first started in my journey, let me tell you how God will begin to start, what he will start doing when it comes to this subject, this topic, right? When I started going through my journey, that was like my main prayer. Because see, here's the thing about healing from things that you don't know that you need to heal from. Let's say, for example, like right now, you're going through something that you're trying to heal from, like something that is right now in the present, something that has happened, like maybe a breakup. Maybe you just recently broke up with somebody and you are dealing with so much hurt and pain, and maybe even it's been months and you're still dealing with it. You're still, crying about it. You still, and you're looking for God to help you. You're trying to heal from it. You're looking for God, like, God, why am I still feeling like this? Or God, I need you to help me to get over this. Here's the thing about that. So, like for a lot of us, the things that's happening today in front of us, or that most recent pain, like we know those are the things that we need to heal from. Those are the things that situation or situations is the very thing that we're inquiring of God about. Like, God, I need you to heal my heart from this. But here's the thing about allowing God to start healing you from the things that you don't even know about, because that very thing that you're trying to overcome right now, or that very event that's recent that you're trying to like heal from and get past, a lot of the wounds and the roots and the voids and all the pain that you're trying to heal from in this situation, a lot of that is coming from things of the past that have been left unaddressed. A lot of like the roots and the wounds are the very things that you need to get to the root of, that you need to get down to the bottom of in order for you to be able to heal where you are now. So a lot of like how we interpret things, a lot of how like, we look at things, our perception about our hurt and what we're dealing with, a lot of that is rooted in the stuff that has happened in childhood, or the events and things that has happened in the past that we have not addressed, that, and so it's like a cycle. So a lot of that hurt, or that area which you're trying to heal right now, that situation that's happening right now that you're trying to heal, it's a long line of pain that has been left unaddressed. And you're never gonna be, even if you get to a point where you're over this, it's just gonna continue to be a cycle. You get what I mean? Like, it's gonna continue to be a cycle because it's stuff that's way over there that you need to deal with that you're not dealing with. And in order for you to be able to heal from this and to keep going and to change that cycle, you have to sit and start addressing the things from the past, addressing the things from the childhood, addressing those wounds that was never addressed, that was never touched. So that's why, like that, I started praying when I was going through my journey. I started praying, and I started praying this prayer like every day, like, God, okay, God, I know what I need to heal from. This what I'm going through right now. Yes, I need you to help me with this. I need to heal from this. But God, I need you to help me to begin to heal from the things that I don't even know that I need to heal from, God. Because there are things, there are wounds, there are, there's something that's going on within me. There's something that's happening in my heart. There's something that keeps coming up, but I don't know what it is. And in order for me to heal in the way that I need to, and in the way that I know that you want me to, and how you want me to give you the areas and the pain, I have to start from the beginning. I have to go from point A to, point B, and then all the way to point Z. I can't skip over anything. So God, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's start addressing this. Let's start, pinpointing. Let's start getting to the roots. It's the root. It's the root of these situations. It's the root. Like, where does this come from? Where, like, these feelings that I have, this pain, and what is the root of these things? So let me tell you how God will begin to do that for you. He will start healing you from the things that you don't even know that you need to be healed from, and how this will begin to open up so much for you in your healing journey. Right? I'm gonna give you an example. This is a transparent moment. This is me giving you an example of how God will literally give you revelation and help you when it comes to this part of your journey, and when you start uncovering these layers and uncovering this hurt and these wounds. This is how he will help you. So look, like I said, I started praying that prayer, and, of course, God began to start helping me in different areas and started showing me parts of myself that I needed to heal, that I needed to, sit with myself about and really journal and all of that. But it was this specific traumatic event that happened to me back when I was in high school. I was 16. This event happened to me, right? And one day God started placing that situation on my heart and my mind, and he was telling me, like, I could feel the Holy Spirit telling me that I needed to, like, sit with that and address that, right? And so when I started getting those feelings, I'm like, I instantly threw it off. Like, I instantly threw it to the back burner, because I'm like, I don't need to address that. Like, that's not something that's affecting me. I don't need to sit with that. In my mind, I'm thinking, like, God, why is this even coming up? Like, I haven't thought about that. I'm not worried about that. I've dealt with that years ago. That doesn't even bother me. That was my thinking. And so I'm thinking, like, I'm not about to waste my time with that. That's not the issue, God. Why are you bringing this up? And so I left it alone, right? Like, I was done with that. And then it just kept coming up. It kept coming up. And once again, I kept throwing it to the side. I kept pushing it over to the side. I kept, like, not addressing it. And so this is the thing. Like, God is so good. God is so good, because God will use anything. He will use anything to send your help. He will use anything to communicate, to get that message to you. He will use anything to speak to you, to help you, to come to your aid, to help you with these things, especially with me praying and asking God, help me to heal from the things I don't even know, right? So, like, shortly after that, after he was bringing that up to me, and I wasn't focusing on it or addressing it, he ended up leading me to a movie. This movie that he led me to, a movie that I wouldn't even watch, even from, like, looking at what it was about, the people in it, and the background of the movie. It wasn't even something that I would normally, sit and watch. But for some reason, something was tugging at me to watch this movie. Let me tell y'all. So I watched this movie. So the movie that God had led me to watch, the movie was the same. The thing that happened in my life, the thing that had happened, that event, it was what the movie was about, right? So when I watched the movie, when I tell y'all, like, the movie was so triggering. It just brought up so much in me. And before the movie was even over with, I was crying. I was so triggered. I was just going through so many different emotions. And as soon as I finished watching it, I could hear God say, you see why I told you that you need to address this? You sitting up here talking about you don't need to heal from this. You need to heal from this. You need to address this. Look at all this stuff that just came up for you just from watching this movie. This is why I'm telling you that you need to go back to that event. We need to sit with this event. We need to heal from this. You've never healed from this. All you've done is just thrown it to the side or thrown it to the back. You think that you've healed from it, but you haven't truly healed from this. Look at the triggers. Look how triggered you are. Look at, you're crying like you are hurting. This has just brought up so much for you. And so when God had brought that up to me, when he brought that up to me after I had watched the movie, it was so overwhelming, right? Like, it was so overwhelming to the point where I was like, okay, God, I got you, but I couldn't even face it. I couldn't even face it. Like, that's how hard it was, how triggering it was, how overwhelming and emotional that pain and that wound, like, it was a wound. It was a wound that I didn't realize, but it was a wound that had came up for me. And I was so overwhelmed. Oh my God, I can't deal with this tonight. Like, okay, I got it, God. You're right. I will deal with this. But this is so heavy right now that, like, I don't even have the capacity to deal with this right now. But Lord, I promise you, tomorrow we gonna sit with this and we gonna get to the bottom of this. And God, I promise you, I will address this. So then the next day came, right? So the next day came. And so I'm like, okay, God, here we go. And because of how heavy it was, like I said, I didn't know this. I didn't realize this, right? Like, this was something that I buried. I buried this a long time ago. I wasn't even thinking about this. Like, every now and then it might come up. But like I said, you know, I would quickly get past it or, you know, wouldn't think twice about it. But it was so heavy. And so, like, when I had to take myself to that place and sit in that event and sit with that and journal about this and really get to that root and get down to the bottom of it with God, it was like, whew, like I had to take a deep breath because it was so heavy. And I'm like, God, please give me the grace to be able to go through this. Give me, like, you're bringing this up for a reason. You're bringing up this event. You're bringing up this. Now you've shown me that this was a wound. I didn't even know that this was a wound, but now you're showing me that this is a wound. So God, this is heavy. I need you through this because it's like, God, I don't even want to face this. I don't even want to face this. Like, I don't even really want to deal with this. I want to keep throwing this to the back. I want to keep brushing over this. I want to keep just skipping over this and acting like it never happened. But I know that I have to sit with this. I have to address this. That's the problem. Because I keep brushing over it. Because I'm not sitting with it. I'm not healing in the way that I need to. And so I began, you know, God, I sat with it. And I dealt with it with God. And this is what I'm telling y'all about why this is so powerful. And this is so important when it comes to your healing journey and allowing God, you know, allowing God to show you those areas, allowing God to bring up those events or those certain situations that has happened in your life. Like, really allowing him, sitting with him to be able to help you with it. Because let me tell y'all something. So prior to, like, so when I started sitting with it and everything, this is the crazy thing, y'all. God is so good. This is how he will heal you. He will heal your heart. He will heal you from this stuff. God had took me up into a vision and was like, okay, imagine, like, the person that was involved with that event. He was like, okay, I want you to imagine, like, walking, like being in a store. If you were to run into them, like, at a supermarket, at the store or something. And he took me up into that vision. And so I'm like, okay, guys. So I went into that vision. And instantly when I got up into that vision, I was walking past that person. And the first thing that I did in that vision was put my head down. Like, I couldn't even look at them. This is a vision. This is just God taking me up to, like, this imagination. Like, but he's showing me, like, this, you know, I'm taking you up into this vision, but look at what's happening. The first thing that you're ready to do when you see this person attached to this event, attached to this hurt in the situation, the first thing that you're ready to do is cower down to it. The first thing that you're ready to do is hold your head down. Like, you can't even face them. You see why you need to heal from this? You can't even face it. You can't even look them in their eyes. The first thing that you're ready to do is hurry up and run past them. Like, the fear and the shame and the guilt of this situation. This is what this is. This is what God was showing me. This is guilt. You have guilt and resentment and shame attached to this event, attached to this situation. That's why the first thing you're ready to do is hold your head down. But God said, okay, nope, we got to address this. We got to address this. And so when I went through that healing and I did that with God, and I allowed him to show me what he needed to show me from that situation, he took me back up in the vision after it was over with. He took me back up in that vision, and my healing, that's when I knew my healing from that situation was right in there. Because when he took me back up to that place, to that imaginative place and that vision, I walked in the store, and the first thing I did was walk up to that person and spoke to him. Hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you in so long. Like, ready to show them so much love. Like, looking at, I was able to look them. I was able to look them in their eyes. I was able to, ready to hug them and just encourage them and just show so much love and compassion to them. And that was through the healing that God did. That was through me sitting with that and addressing that. And God says, you see what I'm saying? Like, before you were cowering down to this, you ran into this person tomorrow, you wouldn't even be able to face them. You'll be running away from this, like, in fear and shame and all this stuff. And so then, like, God just began to, like, pull the layers back even from that situation. Like, other things that I can say was, like, this is what I mean about, like, the stuff that you might be dealing with now. It's a lot of stuff that's rooted in other stuff. And so God began to, like, show me, like, how this situation that happened, this event opened the door to, like, other wounds. Like, this event opened the door to other things that I've experienced in my life that caused me a lot of pain, or it caused me to focus on these lies that the enemy has tried to, that he tried to use to keep me bound. It opened up the door for, like, that broken consciousness that I had about myself and, things of the world and other situations that I was in that was similar to that situation. And I didn't even realize that. You see what I mean about how we have to heal? We have to allow God to open up take the scales off of our eyes to be able to heal from the things that we don't even know, because that opened up the door. I was able to start pulling back so many layers of things that I didn't even notice. Now here I am sitting here not thinking about that situation, not even trying to sit down and address that situation, because it's like, whatever with that situation. I'm not even thinking about that situation. But the moment that God took me to that place, the moment that I sat down and I did the work and I did the healing on that event, in that area, on that situation, it opened up my eyes. It opened up the door to God showing me, like, all these other things that was attached to that one event. It was attached to that one event that I didn't even know. I didn't even realize. And so this is why you have to start praying. When you're going through this journey, you have to start praying. God, help me. Help me, give me the grace. Help me to begin to heal from the things that I don't even know that I need to heal from. Help me, God. Help me. Pull back the scales from my eyes. Help me. Give me the grace to start pulling these layers off of these different situations and the trauma and the events that I've been through in my life. Lord, help me to start getting to the roots, because that's what it is. It's about those roots. It's about getting to those roots, because all these situations, a lot of these situations that you're going through in life, they are all similar. They're all similar. It's all like they all end up being the same result. You know what I mean? Like, it all end up taking you right back to that place of hurt. And so it's like that stuff is rooted. There's a root that you have to get to the bottom of, so that you can begin to heal from these things, so that you can begin to, explore those things and get to that root, so you can heal the wounds. You know what I mean? Or if it, like, for example, like voids. If voids is something that you're dealing with, like, feeling empty, God, I feel like there's a void in my heart. I feel empty. I need you to start filling that space for me. I need you to start filling these empty spaces. Lord, why? Why am I feeling empty here? Why is there a void, God? And that's what I'm saying. And God is going to start showing you that. He's going to give you the grace. He's going to be patient with you. He's going to, begin to open up your eyes to things that you don't even know so that you can see those areas like, wow, God, wow. I'm truly wounded in that area. I'm truly wounded when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? Even this example that I'm giving you guys, that event that happened, God showed me how so much of my rejection, like my root of rejection came from my childhood, right? But God was showing me like how that situation, it was so much rejection rooted in that situation that carried on with my life. And, I'm trying to get to the bottom of, okay, this spirit of rejection, God, why does this rejection hurt me so much? Why have I felt like I faced so much rejection in my life? And it's things like this. It's things like this. It's the layers. And God's showing me like, see? You see why I'm telling you to address this? You see why I'm telling you that you have to get to the bottom of this? And y'all, God is just so good. That's what I'm saying. You just allow him to do this for you in your journey. He will help you. He will be with you. He will give you the grace that you need, the patience. Because sometimes, like this stuff can be difficult when you go back to those places, when you have to replay those events, when you have to go back to these times in your life that you tried to forget, that you don't want to, you know what I mean? You don't want to deal with it, but God will give you that grace and that patience, and he will be with you through it. He will be with you through it to be able to address those areas, to be able to address those things. Okay, so this is how you begin to heal from the things that you don't even know that you need to heal from. I love you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you keep joining in on my channel. I love you guys. I will see you in the next video.